Welcome to Tribe Talk, presented by Truist. Hello, everyone. This is Jay Colley. With us is the head football coach at William & Mary, Mike London. And, Coach, have you come down off of cloud nine after the Tribe's great victory at Villanova last Saturday? The number 4 team in the country went down to defeat.
Well, we celebrated on the bus ride back and then quickly got over it because, as I said, we'll celebrate at the end when it's all said and done. But right now, you acknowledge the fact that the kids were happy on the bus ride back. The things that they've worked hard to get to this point, and know that we've got to continue to keep working harder to achieve, more dreams, more aspirations.
I thought earlier this week at the press conference, a reporter asked you, obviously you've been there, done that, won the biggest of games, but this team hasn't. Matter of fact, the Tribe's first winning season now is in tow since 2016. Are you detecting any quote unquote attitude from your team about confidence at this point in time?
Not an attitude about the lack of confidence, but an attitude of gratitude, an attitude of, like I said, we haven't been here before, but we've matched up against some pretty good opponents. And so the attitude that you belong. And so the only way that you continue to keep saying that you belong is you belong by being successful, by being competitive. And the next opportunity is a very, very good Delaware team that we're on the road to once again.
How does that happen? That 8 out of the last 8 interceptions in 2 games, by the way, 8 different individuals have garnered those. Pretty incredible stat there.
It is, but it also goes back to the fact that they're, guys in the secondary, linebackers. And so when you work on the quarterback, long arm separation from the quarterback, what's he looking at, the coverages, your relationship to the receiver, the throwing lane. The coaches have done a really good job. We talk about ball security, ball alertness, ball awareness. The coaches have done a good job of really drilling into the fact of the players of, hey, when you see this ball being thrown, when the quarterback looks here, he pats the ball, whatever the film study says about the particular person throwing the ball, then that becomes key. And our guys have really done well taking the key and then following up and catching it, because a lot of times you get your hands on the ball, you don't secure it. One of the things that we do is make sure that whether it's through the jugs machine or the drills in themselves of catching the football, because you got to have the possession in order to complete the turnover part of it. And we've been really good at being able to do that.
Oftentimes we overlook the special teams, Coach. I know you don't, but as fans we do. You had an onside kick situation this week. Everyone knew Villanova was going to onside kick, and you set up perfectly for that.
Yeah, well, they tried an onside kick, and Gage Herman did a great job of being the ball direct kick to him. And so, you practice those things. Everybody sees a kickoff returns, but you also have to practice the onsides, the hands team, the bloop kicks, the squib kicks, and all those things. So, again, the credit goes to the coaching staff, Bo Rebel, on the special teams part of it. So we do that as part of the training, and it's good to see that it comes to the way that you drill it and train it when it's successful.
I can't believe we've gone this far in the conversation and haven't mentioned your offensive line this week. Another splendid performance. You had some big-time runs by Bronson Yoder, particularly on Saturday.
Again, Jay, I mentioned at the very beginning of the season when we were talking about what the strengths of the team would be, and I mentioned the offensive line being that strength, and having guys like Andrew Traynor, Ryan Ripley, Marcus Crowell, Colby Sorsdale. I mean, I can go, Dan Evers, I can go on and on. And, the fact that, the games that we played, there hasn't been, at least the lineup, the starting 5 lineup has been a different person in it every week. And that's to the resiliency of those guys that are playing, whether it was injury or contact tracing or whatever it may have been. The next man up mentality truly took hold with the offensive line, not only with our team, but with guys that are playing up front. And again, it's a cohesive group that has demonstrated performance, through what they've done the games we played thus far that we can run the ball with authority, and we're going to have to keep being able to do that with the teams that are left to play, on our schedule.
Coach, if you can allow me to take off my interviewer hat and put on my fan hat, a little bit perplexed is why the Tribe did not move up a little higher in the polling this week. I think the highest is 20th after a great win on the road versus the number 4 ranked team in the country, and very frankly, a shellacking of Villanova.
Jay, we talked about those types of things. We can only control what we can control. And, human nature, you look at all this, say, well, we're going to continue to keep earning respect. I laud our guys. I applaud our guys. I love our guys because we embrace the fact that you can be tough, physical, and aggressive. Put your face on somebody else, block them, tackle them, and then you can go pursue one of the best degrees that this country has to offer. And the school is cool. So I don't know how people look at the school right now. Every school I've been in an academic institution, and sometimes there tends to be, well, do they love football? Do they want to play football? Our guys love football, and they want to play it, and they can be physical. The goal is to keep doing that week in, week out. And this next week goal against a very physical, big Delaware team is going to be equally important.
Coach, if I had to ask you 2 statistics that need to go in the Tribe's favor at the end of the game to have another win on the road versus a top school, what would they be?
I know that we're going to have to get better in the third down percentages, not being behind the chains as much. So the third down, that being something manageable for us. You'd rather have a 3rd and 3 or 4 than a 3rd and 8, 9, which we've seen in the past here. But that's one of them. I think on the other side, defensively, is the explosive plays. We say explosive plays are those things that are 15 yards plus. We did a great job with Villanova up until the very end, where the long pass coming out of from the end zone, where there was another explosive run. And so, if you can limit those things, the explosive plays, then you give yourself an opportunity to play good, hard, tough defense. And knowing that Delaware has a great running back who I think he's second in the CAA in total yardage, whether it's catching, he's a kickoff returner, so he does everything for him. So, we're going to have to make sure that those explosive plays don't become something that is a detriment to us. So I'd say the third down on offense and limiting explosive plays on defense.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck on Saturday at 1:00 kick at Delaware.
Thanks, Jay.
We're opening the door to better financial services, better experiences, better partnerships, better technology, better communities, and a better future.
Everything you know about Colonial Heritage is true. A beautiful golf course with exquisite dining and superb event space. But this is also true. You don't have to live there to play, dine, or celebrate there. So let Colonial Heritage be your host for a round, a meal, or a gathering. It's all true. You don't have to live there to enjoy being there. At Colonial Heritage, golf memberships are available. ColonialHeritageClub.com.
What does tomorrow look like? That's really up to us. By exploring what's ahead and learning from where we've been, we find ways to care and teach ourselves and others how to heal so that we can make life better by design.
Welcome back to Tribe Talk, presented by Truist. With us is the longtime field hockey coach at William and Mary, Tess Ellis. And Tess, first of all, you're coming to us from the Tribe Field Hockey Center, and welcome to Tribe Talk.
Thanks, Jay. Long time no see.
Absolutely. And you've had an incredibly busy season. Ever since you've been head coach, making it to the CAA tournament, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But tell us how this season has gone in a nutshell.
I think in a nutshell, to wrap it up, I kept getting phone calls and people kept asking how I was doing. And I was like, is something wrong? And they're like, well, you seem to be having a tough year. And I said, no, actually, we're learning so much and progressing very quickly through the season. But, you know, people look at your record, your overall record. So when they see 2-10 or 2-8, not realizing the strength of our schedule and how well the girls have been playing, people just assume that you're having a bad year.
Getting to the schedule, because that was one of the first questions out of the box. You intentionally made the schedule. Clearly, you either A, thought you were going to have a very good team, or B, you wanted them to learn a baptism of fire, or a little bit of both.
I think you just wrapped it up, a little bit of both. Extremely young team. With COVID hitting, all my seniors chose to graduate and move on. So I knew that I had a small senior class. Unfortunate, I lost Georgia Morgan last year with an ACL injury in the spring, which means that she's still rehabbing. Rachel Gantz with a back injury, limited playing time. So at the moment, I have two seniors on the field. I have Kara Mangus on the field and Kimmy Jones in cage. And with a young team for them to lead, I thought it was very important that we challenge them with a top 15 schedule in the country. And then with the strength of the Division I schools that we had in Virginia, it really wasn't that hard to put the schedule together, which saved us a little bit in our budget as far as travel went, just playing schools at, 7 of them within Virginia and playing UVA twice. But it really it challenged them. It definitely, we probably had one meltdown that we had to go back and just look where our learning curve was, that we were playing teams that had the ACC schools had a regular season in the fall and then they had a season in the spring. We had played 5 games in 12 months. So for us to play catch up, I had to challenge them with a big schedule.
Tell us how, particularly, you mentioned Kara Mingus. Tell us about her attitude and just her strength for your team this year.
Kara, obviously having her older sister to follow, Kara has always stepped up to the plate and she just challenges herself physically, mentally with the game, and has been a natural leader on this team since she was a sophomore. She got selected as one of our captains and has every year moving forward. But the girl just leads by example. There's never any excuses, and she's always there willing to help her teammates work through struggles on and off the field. And she's just that leader that the team looks up to. And when the chips are down, Kara is that player who's like, give me the ball, I'm going to go. She's our quarterback of the team.
So, you worked your way into the CA tournament. It's a 4-team field. The winner goes to the NCAA. A lot of pressure on your team. Do you feel like the tough schedule kind of also prepared them for this moment?
Well, it certainly prepared the team in the sense of we knew we were going to play JMU or Delaware in such a small pool. Whether you come in second or third or fourth, you're going to play one of the two. And JMU had a good season last year, so we knew they'd be back in the top 4. We knew Delaware had strength of, some seniors staying behind and a very large senior class. So we knew if we could win 3 of our first 4 games that it put us into the top 4. And then after that, we would set ourselves up for our so-called third season. When we got to Towson, that was probably our hiccup game. I think that's where we sort of had a little bit of a breakdown. We were in the middle of midterms. It was one of our first overnight trips that we had in 2 years. if you look at the stats, we should have beaten Towson and we didn't. And I think it made the team come back and work a little bit harder and just realize that going to conference wasn't going to be easy. So beating Drexel convincingly, playing Delaware, I thought we played them well. I thought we played JMU well. And then after that, having UVA again on our schedule was a great way to sort of say, where are our holes? Show us so we can prepare, practice, get better for the next game. And, that next game happened to be JMU, and I thought we did very well. We were missing one of our young defenders, Grace Cornbrook. She is dealing with a concussion, but we get her back for conference. So our bench is strong. I think we have the knowledge of whatever system Delaware throws at us. I think we can handle it. I think our corner defense from day one, when we played Penn State, who I think scored 6 penalty corners against us, that our corner defense has really stepped up. So if we put it in football terms, our special teams have definitely started to come of age, where that older or the experience from playing these harder teams is, helping the freshman and the sophomore class play catch-up hockey because they just haven't had that experience.
Well, Tess, you and your staff have brought this program to a wonderful respectability, not only in this league, but certainly nationwide. And we appreciate your time today, and good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it, Jay.
If these times have taught us anything, it's that anything is possible, especially at our public schools. Overcoming great adversity, we salute our teachers and students who brought their A game every day. Whatever tomorrow brings, our commitment to public schools is stronger than ever. A win for education. The Virginia Lottery. $11 billion to Virginia's public schools since 1999.
Fun fact, Mountain Dew and spicy chicken is the perfect combo.
Does it look like I don't know that?
Okay. Didn't mean to ruffle your feathers.
We both did the employee training, Gary.
Okay, don't jump down my beak.
Doing spicy? Do the do.
We're opening the door to better financial services, better experiences, better partnerships, better technology, better communities, and a better future.
We are Growth for Virginia, a grassroots campaign bringing together students, parents, employers, and educators. We believe talent is what sets Virginia apart. We believe in providing all Virginians affordable pathways from learning to earning. We believe innovation and investment in our standout higher education system can make Virginia America's talent leader. Together, we're asking our leaders to make transformational investments in our future and a stronger Virginia.
The William & Mary Student Athlete of the Week, presented by the Virginia Lottery, recognizes tribe student athletes for their standout efforts in competition, the classroom, and the community. This week's William & Mary Student Athlete of the Week, presented by the Virginia Lottery, is men's cross-country sophomore Sam Pritchard. Sam was voted the winner by the William & Mary fan base via social media polls in both the @TribeAthletics Twitter and Instagram accounts. Volleyball's Julia Brown, women's swimmer Missy Cundiff, and football's Nate Lynn were also honored as finalists for the weekly award. Sam finished as the runner-up at the Colonial Athletic Association Championship last week to earn all CAA honors for the first time in his career, leading the tribe to its 28th CAA cross-country championship. Sam intends to major in business analytics and data sciences. Last year, he was named to the CAA's Commissioner's Academic Honor Roll.
neighborhood.
Everything you know about colonial heritage is true. A beautiful golf course with exquisite dining and superb event space. But this is also true. You don't have to live there to play, dine, or celebrate there. So let Colonial Heritage be your host for a round, a meal, or a gathering. It's all true. You don't have to live there to enjoy being there. At Colonial Heritage, golf memberships are available. ColonialHeritageClub.com.
We're opening the door
What
to
does
better
tomorrow
financial
look like?
services,
That's really up to us.
better experiences,
By exploring what's ahead and
better
learning
partnerships,
from where we've been, we find ways to care
better
and
technology,
teach ourselves and others how to heal
better communities,
so that we can make life
and
better
a better future.
by design.
At William & Mary, we strive to be more than we are and to do more than we've ever done. Here, we do not live in the shadows of the giants of American history that we helped to shape. We stand on their shoulders, reaching higher, looking further, and leading the way forward. To be a place where history happens every day, and to be a university for the bold.
Welcome back to Tribe Talk, presented by Truist. With us is Tim Pemberton, the men's golf coach at William & Mary. And first of all, Tim, thanks for joining us today in what I think most folks might consider an off season for golf, but y'all play year round.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thanks, Jay, for having me. This is it's a great opportunity. Yeah, we're at it 24/7, 12 months a year, despite what most would think is a couple tournaments a year. It's a year-round operation for sure.
Tim, and it leads me to ask you this question as well, because I think Division I athletes do work every day at whatever sport they're in to try to improve. Golf is one of those games that is constant, I guess. You know, you hear stories about the pros hitting, 10,000 balls a day and whatnot.
In addition to being competitive on the golf course, we're also student athletes. So having been a student at William & Mary, I feel like I can help manage their time. We certainly don't practice as much as we all want to. I think every student athlete can say that. And we do our best to get in work just about every day.
And clearly, the CAAs and the NCAA tournament is a spring sport. But what can you do definitively to make them better now in events and that would correlate to, 5-6 months from now?
Certainly. Yeah. There are a couple goals we go through in the fall. One is to get them in tournament situations where they get in contention, go through that final round, needing to win, feeling like they're close enough to win. There are certain pressures that you can practice your whole life, and until you get in the moment, you don't know what that pressure feels like. We were in contention 3 times this fall. We had top three finishes. We didn't win any, but we had some great learning experiences. To finish top 3 out of 15 teams 3 times is great. We could make the NCAA tournament in the spring as an at-large team. My team did that in 2002. We can also win the CAA championship at the end of April and make it into NCAAs that way. Our performance this fall puts us in pretty good position to contend for an at-large bid in the spring. Probably won't happen yet. We're close, but I think we're a few years off from that. But yeah, we certainly look at the fall as though it has the competitive importance of the spring, although the spring is where banners come from for sure.
Coach, tell us about William & Mary graduate student Ethan Mangum. He's ranked number 1 in the APGA collegiate ranking for the 21-22 season.
Yeah, Ethan's been a great addition. The first time I met him, he's just an impressive kid. He's hardworking. He has a plan for just about everything he does. It's full of talent. I think the sky's the limit for him. He hasn't reached his full potential yet. We're working hard to get him all the tools in place. I asked him in December, we're talking about going down to meet with Ricky Fowler's coach down in Atlanta, where he's from. And he said, I've never had a lesson before. And I'm like, you're this close to the PGA Tour and you've never had a lesson. Wow. It may be time to start. Also, you don't want to, mess with his swing and get in the way either. But that's a good example of some of the untapped potential there. He got off to a pretty rough start the very first round of the year, shot 83. And I remember talking to him halfway through that round saying, we brought you here to lead this team and you have 14 more rounds this fall to show us that. And he goes out and shoots 67 that afternoon and hadn't made a bogey since, it feels like.
Coach Pemberton, your assistant coach is Mike Leach, and folks that are familiar with Tribe Athletics or even the National Football League know that Mike not only played and graduated here, but since 16 years in the National Football League. So how does a guy like that become an assistant golf coach? Well,
you got to be Mike Leach to do that. He's probably the only person that can pull that off. I think you know that. You're probably one of the few people, you and Julie, who've spent more time with Mike than me. We're lucky to have him around for sure. The moment the players met him, you could just tell it was a great fit. He's been a student here. He's competed at the highest levels. He's a great mentor for the kids. He's already out on the road recruiting. The parents, they like me a little bit, but I start talking about golf. They want to start talking about fantasy football and, the Denver Broncos and Arizona Cardinals. I'm just like, this is great. I go grab a sandwich, say, Mike, did we get this recruit or not? Mike is awesome. We're just getting going. I feel like our potential with this program is tremendous. And there's a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes, but I can tell you, Mike is a perfect fit for that. Every day he wakes up thinking about golf. We're lucky to have him for sure.
Tim Pemberton, men's golf coach at William & Mary. Hey, show us that hat next to you. I want to give a shout out to Chip Brewer, the CEO of Callaway Golf, and a grad of William & Mary, by the way, a wonderful supporter. Thanks to you for your time and good luck as you bring this program to prominence nationwide.